just landed in the tree. Oh, it's a blue jay. Yes. Great timing, blue jay. Dearest On Beyonders, today's talk is based on our theme of being childlike and adult play. And I sit before you as this blue jay sings, and it was really quiet before that. And that's really a nice analogy here, because so many of us, when we're doing something and something comes in and changes our frame of thought, we get upset and we rush to conclusions and we throw our hands up, we emotionally react, and we forget how easy it is to not react and to actually just take a breath and take a moment to pause and respond. So I hope that you appreciated that moment where I could have just pressed stop, but I said no, that wouldn't be in the BeyondEgo manner to do that. It would be the idea of this video, which is childlike play, but to be here now. To be here now. And one of the greatest ways to be more childlike and to call upon your childlike spirits is to be present. You see, adulthood and our responsibilities have us rushing or have us on this constant cycle of having to do, right? Think about that statement, I have to do, your to-do list, or in your mind chatter, the have to-dos. How many have to-dos do you have? In fact, let's add on to that. How many have-not scenarios do you have, right? How many times you say, oh, well, I don't have that, or you complain about something. You see, the idea of childlike play as we come into June is so very important for all of us to be in the moment and to be here now. You see, taking upon the thoughts and the image of a child, right? Maybe a toddler. They know not of their past. They're not conscious enough to think about when they were 2 or when they were 1. And they're not thinking of their future. They're in the present moment. They don't have the consciousness yet to think about anything in the future except for maybe if they're going to get a candy or another toy. But again, they're not really thinking that way. They're in the present moment with their toys, with their bottle, with whatever it is that's making them smile or cry at that moment. They know not of their past, and they know not of their future, nor are they concerned about their past or their future, which is why childlike bliss is a way for all of us to be in the present moment. And as leaders, whether we're in business for ourselves, or we're working in corporate, or we're leading in our relationships, or perhaps you're here because you want to lead a better, happier, healthier life that's beyond the cyclical, traditional realm of 24/7-ness. And that 24/7-ness gets us on this path where we're rushing. So the idea of childlike spirit is to be here now. It's the profound realization of the inner awareness of the moment. You are not your past. You are not your future. There's this story in my upcoming book about perennial plants. And I talk about how our passions sometimes seem dormant. And when our passions seem dormant, I compare them to the analogy of a perennial plant, which has roots that go dormant for the winter. And sometimes our passions and our childlike nature is somewhere not in our frame of reference. Our roots are actually going inside, and perhaps the roots inside of us are making way for something new. But in the moments we feel lost, we feel disassociated, we feel disconnected. And if we're in our emotional, reactive ego state, we tend to take it out on ourselves, self-depreciate, or beat up on others around us. And the good thought is that in the spring, the plants come back. They come back to life. And it's this beautiful surprise moment where, oh, the passion was there all along. It was just rerooting itself. It was just going dormant to get new ideas, to get new activity. And I think about that dormance period as this presence, right? What we're talking about of our childlike nature is having this presence, this meditative moment of silence and quiet versus our rushing. And to do that, it takes a lot of trust in oneself. To trust yourself is to truly be in the moment. To trust other people is to also be in the moment, because we are relying upon our intuition. And to do that, we find peace. To do that, we find equanimity. And when we're less rushed, when we're less on that cycle, we find more happiness. We find more laughter. So I ask you, what is going on in your life right now that you can compare on a sheet of paper, your adult life and your responsibilities, and then on the other side, your childlike spirit that yearns to come out? What are the things inside of you that you haven't done in a long time that you want to do? What are the words, the poems, the songs, the cooking of the meals, whatever creative juices are flowing inside of your heart? What have you not done in a long time that maybe adulthood has kept you from, that you can bring into your life right now? You see, being this childlike spirit and bringing this laughter, which is medicine for the body, medicine for the mind, medicine for the soul, bringing in laughter and bringing in passion, like the perennials that come up in the spring. It's all a part of our self-discovery, right? We're consistently learning about ourselves through our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. We're someone new every single day, and our cells are consistently changing. I read somewhere that the cells in the body, they outnumber the stars in the sky. Now, there's trillions of cells inside of us. We are completely made of energy, which is so fantastic to know. So the beautiful part of that is to take this moment to look within. Take this moment and this month, the art of childlike bliss, the entire month of June, to catch yourself, to not go on that path too hard of adulthood. When adulthood sits you down and says, these are your responsibilities, these are your finances, and yes, we all have shit to carry, right? But we don't have to carry in the way that the traditional societal demands want us to. There is this leadership path, this BeyondEgo path, that asks us to play with life as life is playing with us. Can you see life as playing with you? So I ask you this: what is missing in your life right now? Make that list, the adulthood things that are keeping you on your cycle. Those of you with kids know what I'm talking about. And then what are the things that you haven't done in a while, or what are your dreams and goals that you'd like to do? And I bet you for some of us, there might be on that passion side things that we don't know yet, right? Things that we don't know yet. What are those things, those passions? I don't know. We might not know what they are, and that's the beautiful part of this June month of childlike bliss and being an adult who plays with ourselves and our minds and our passions and our arts and our creativity. is that we bring up these little auras of energy that allow us to consider an idea or two. We don't have to stick to it. We don't have to say, I'm going to start to sew tomorrow. We don't have to say, I'm going to learn how to fix cars tomorrow. But there are these questions that might not often come up if outside of this mastermind, that are asking you to play and to be an adult that plays and to focus on what makes you laugh and what makes you smile. That belly laugh, that clenching, that the abs get really hard when you laugh really hard. Your entire core area is just solid because you're clenching your muscles and you're laughing hard. When you smile, I think there's 76 muscles in your mouth that when the edges of your mouth turn up and your cheeks kind of come up. What are those things that make you smile? And if you haven't smiled in a long time, why is that? Bring that up too. Because children often are confused. They often cry without knowing. So this is our month to do the same. This is our month to be in this present moment of what does being a child as an adult, what is having that spirit mean to me in this state of where I am, at this age of where I am, at this point in my life, where I can say to myself, what's missing? And what do I need to do to carve out a path so that whatever is missing can come in? And I will ask that you manifest that in such a way that you're not rushing it, but you're opening up your mind. It's like finger painting as a child. It's like coloring with markers. It's getting a piece of paper out and drawing what your goals are, your desires are. And like the trees behind me, like the wind that's blowing, the wind is forever changing. The trees are forever growing. The trees are silent, yet they speak to each other. They actually all communicate with one another. And if we can come into this meditative mode, this non-rushing mode of being here in the present moment, this profound self-mastery, self-discovery, self-reflective time of giving ourselves the chance to know what our passions are calling upon us for. What are the things that we really want to do? Even if they're minor, they don't have to be big. What are those things? I ask that you take some time this month to focus on what your passions are and to share them with people, to share them with our mastermind, to share them with your partner, to share them with yourself, and to just step a little bit away from the traditionality of adulthood so that the playfulness, the laughter, the belly laughs come out, and you are able to be in this moment of life that can look at a bill, or can look at an invoice that you owe, or can look at a relationship that's not working. You can look at your job that you don't like. You can look at your have-not situation and turn it into, I've got this. You can turn your have-to situation to, I am. You see, childlike nature is, it's like the reference point of, no matter what, I'm not growing up. I often say that a lot. So I hope that you take this talk to heart and you take this month for yourself to let the breeze blow, let your arms open up, and be in the present moment and not in that rushing time, so that you can honor yourself and honor the passions that live within you that so yearn to come out.